And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Good afternoon. I'm National Weather Service meteorologist John Cowen with your Alaska Public Forecast. We'll start off taking a look at hazards across the state. Again, only 2 today. Just have that flood watch in effect for the portion of the Yukon River between Eagle and Circle with an ice jam that's moving through that area. We have a special weather statement in effect as well, again, for the rain that's expected late Friday through late Saturday time frame. We're expecting to get about 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain below about 1,500 feet in this area. Above that elevation, we can expect some snow on the order of about 2 to 5 inches, obviously with the higher amounts being higher in elevation. Taking a look at our satellite loop, you can see our low pressure here in the Gulf of Alaska continuing to move north. Now over the next day or so, that's going to move inland and start to fizzle out across the interior. High pressure will begin to take over from the north, so we should get some clearing this weekend. But for now, through Saturday, across the interior, expect rain and snow showers to be the predominant weather feature. We have another low that's moving its way east across the, or just south of the Aleutians, and this low is going to approach the Gulf of Alaska Sunday and begin to become our main feature as we get later into the weekend. So backing it up to tonight's weather, again, our front moves up into the interior. We expect rain to persist along much of the coastline from the northern Gulf of Alaska all the way into the Panhandle. Across the interior, generally looking at mixed rain and snow, again, snow in the higher elevations. And our low pressure continues to scoot east into Saturday, starting to approach the Gulf of Alaska, starting to deepen as well, so we'll start to see some winds picking up across the central Aleutians. Across the interior, things beginning to dry out on Saturday as the high pressure begins to do its thing and scour out the remaining rain and snow showers. And then by Sunday, this low deepens to about 988 millibars, so fairly deep low for this time of year with strong high pressure on either side of it. We have high pressure out here in the Bering with high pressure out over the eastern Gulf of Alaska, and that'll help keep conditions fairly nice for Sunday across the Panhandle. However, strong winds are expected with this system across the central and eastern Aleutians, as well as portions of the higher terrain of south central Alaska. And then finally, taking a look at Monday, our low persists just south of Kodiak Island, continuing to produce a lot of rain and snow across south central Alaska into the Panhandle. Again, snow in the higher elevations. Fairly warm temperatures for this time of year as well, with all this warm air moving up behind the front. And then we have another warm front that'll be moving up into the far western Aleutians on Monday. So let's take a look at temperatures. Our low temperatures for Saturday morning, we can expect temperatures generally above freezing for about 2/3 of the state. Pretty much everything south of the Brooks Range is going to be either close to or above freezing. North of the Brooks Range, rather, we can expect near average temperatures for this time of year for the North Slope. Taking a look at our high temperatures Saturday afternoon, again pushing into the 50s across much of the interior. 40s and 50s expected for south central, with high 40s to around 50 expected for much of the Panhandle. Sunday morning, low temperatures again with all the active weather that we have across the state. We can expect some fairly warmer than average temperatures again, near to above freezing for much of the state. And then for Sunday afternoon, again warming up to pretty well above average for this time of year. Some locations might even be pushing 60 by Sunday afternoon. Mid to high 50s expected across much of the interior. 50s again expected for south central, and upper 40s to low 50s for the Panhandle. Taking a look at our 6 to 10 day outlook, our temperature outlook, you can see southwest Alaska is looking a little bit warmer than average. The northeastern quadrant of the state and the Panhandle expected to be slightly below average. Rainfall forecast, we're expecting wetter than average conditions across the southern half of the state. Again, this is fairly relative, as this is supposed to be our dry time of the year, so really any precipitation that we get is going to make it seem a lot wetter than it might actually be. Slightly drier than average for portions of the North Slope, and that'll wrap up our public weather forecast. I'm meteorologist John Cowen.